Listen up, because I'm about to blow your mind with something that could save your family's life. And I'm honestly nervous about sharing this. For the past 12 years, I've been quietly building my emergency stockpile. But here's the thing. While every prepper on YouTube is telling you to hoard the same old rice and beans, I've discovered 7 survival foods that are so overlooked, so undervalued, that I've kept them secret from my own prepping community. And I'm talking about foods that cost pennies on the dollar compared to those overpriced freeze-dried meals everyone's obsessed with. Number 4 on my list? You can grab it at any Asian market for under $3, while preppers are dropping $20 on fancy survival rations that taste like cardboard. But number 7, man, when you see what it is, you're going to slap yourself for not thinking of it sooner. Here's what nobody wants to admit about the prepping world. We're all sheep following the same playbook. Rice, beans, and canned goods, the holy trinity that every survival blog preaches. But I learned something that changed everything during the supply chain chaos of 2023. You know what disappeared first when panic buying hit? All that mainstream prepper food. Every grain of rice, every can of beans, gone within hours. But the 7 foods I'm about to reveal? They were sitting there untouched, fully stocked, while everyone else was fighting over scraps. And if this information saves you even one grocery trip during the next crisis, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Because what I'm sharing today isn't just food storage, it's survival intelligence that most preppers will never figure out. Food 1, bouillon cubes, the flavor revolution. Nobody sees coming all right. Let's start with something that sounds boring but is absolutely genius. Bouillon cubes. And before you roll your eyes, let me tell you what a food industry insider told me last month. This guy has been managing supply chains for 2 decades. During the 2023 shortages, you know what product never, and I mean never, ran out of stock? Bouillon cubes. Here's why this blew my mind. According to recent studies, these little flavor bombs retain over 90% of their nutritional value for more than 2 years. But get this, one single cube delivers the same nutritional impact as 2 full cups of broth while taking up practically zero storage space. Think about the psychology here. When you're forced to eat bland survival food for weeks on end, what's going to break your spirit first? The monotony, the tastelessness. But drop one bouillon cube into that boring rice, and suddenly you've got restaurant-quality flavor that keeps morale high. I've got around 500 cubes tucked away in my secondary storage. Total cost? Less than $35. That's 500 meals transformed from survival rations to comfort food. Pro tip that changed my game: store them with silica gel packets. You know, those little pouches from shoeboxes. Keeps moisture out and extends shelf life indefinitely. But here's the survival secret most people miss. These aren't just about taste. In a real emergency, that concentrated sodium and mineral content becomes life-saving electrolyte replacement. The military figured this out decades ago. There's bouillon in every MRE for a reason. Storage hack from an old-timer. Transfer them to mason jars. Mark the date with permanent marker. They'll outlast everything else in your pantry. Food 2, dried seaweed, nature's hidden multivitamin. Now this is where it gets interesting. Dried seaweed. And no, I'm not asking you to choke down kelp smoothies. Stay with me here. Japanese researchers made headlines in 2023 when they discovered something incredible. They found perfectly preserved dried seaweed in ancient temple storage areas. We're talking 1,000 years old. And when they tested it, still nutritionally impressive. Here's what the prepping community completely ignores. Recent studies show that one sheet of nori contains more iodine than most Americans get in an entire week. And iodine deficiency? That's what controls your thyroid, which basically runs your whole body. Let me share something that happened last winter. My neighbor, a solid prepper, stocked to the ceiling with all the standard stuff, came down with severe fatigue during a 2-week power outage. The doctor later confirmed it was iodine deficiency. Meanwhile, my family was completely fine. Why? because I'd been rotating seaweed into our meals for months. Here's the brilliant part. Most preppers don't even know this stuff exists, which means it's always available. I walked into H-Mart yesterday, shelves fully stocked with every variety you can imagine. Nori, wakame, and dulse, each one with unique benefits. Nori is packed with protein. Wakame delivers magnesium for energy and mood stability. Dulse works as a natural salt substitute. My simple method: crumble one sheet into your rice while cooking. Adds this subtle, rich umami flavor that makes stockpiled food taste gourmet. And here's something those big prepper channels won't mention. A 2023 sustainability report named seaweed as the most environmentally friendly emergency food you can store. Zero refrigeration needed, minimal space required, and unlike rice or beans, producing it doesn't strain freshwater supplies. I keep 3 types in my hidden stash. Cost me about $50 total. That's a full year's supply for my family. Compare that to freeze-dried meals at $18 per pouch. Food. Number 3, potato flour. The forgotten European secret number 3 is going to sound strange, but hear me out. Potato flour. Not potato flakes, not instant mashed potatoes. Real potato flour. I discovered this by accident while browsing a small ethnic market last year. Saw these dusty bags just sitting there, nobody buying them. So I did some research, and what I found shocked me. This is what old world Europeans used to survive entire brutal winters, and there's solid science behind why it works. Shelf life. When stored properly, this stuff lasts up to 10 years. Regular all-purpose flour goes rancid in about 8 months. But here's where it gets really interesting. Potato flour is naturally gluten-free, which means if you or someone in your family has celiac disease or gluten sensitivity, this becomes absolutely critical. During a collapse scenario, do you think stores will have gluten-free options? Not happening. Nutritionally, it's a powerhouse. High in resistant starch. That's the stuff that feeds beneficial gut bacteria and keeps you feeling full longer. When you're rationing food, that satiety factor is psychological gold. Real-world test. During a 3-day power outage last year, I used potato flour to make flatbreads on my camp stove. Mix with water and salt. Cook in a pan. 5 minutes, and you've got fresh bread. Pro move. You can add potato flour to thicken anything. Soups, stews, and gravies. 1 tablespoon does the work of 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Storage tip that took me forever to learn. Transfer it to a food-grade bucket with a Gamma Seal lid. Add an oxygen absorber. We're talking NASA-level preservation here. Price check yesterday. 5-pound bag costs about $9. That's dozens of meals. Meanwhile, preppers are spending $250 on buckets of freeze-dried cardboard. And here's the kicker. Most survival food lists don't even mention potato flour, which means during panic buying, this will still be sitting on shelves. Food 4. Premium Asian instant noodles. The real deal. Okay, number 4 is where I might lose some hardcore prepper credibility, but I don't care. Premium Asian instant noodle blocks. And I'm not talking about those 25-cent ramen packets from Walmart. I mean the legitimate stuff from Asian grocery stores. Let me tell you what changed my entire prepping philosophy. 2 years ago, I did a 30-day test of my food stockpile, actually eating what I'd stored to see if I could really survive on it. By day 12, I was so sick of rice and beans, I almost quit. Wife was getting cranky. Kids were complaining. Then I remembered these instant noodle blocks I'd grabbed from an Asian market. Complete game changer. Here's what makes these different from regular ramen. The noodle quality is legitimate. Wheat-based, sometimes egg-based noodles with actual nutrition. Some varieties pack 8 to 10 grams of protein per serving. But the real magic is in the seasoning packets. These aren't just MSG and salt. We're talking complex spice blends, dried vegetables, real mushroom powder, and authentic soup bases. Flavors like tom yum, laksa, miso, and kimchi. Now, some hardcore preppers will say, this isn't pure survival food. But here's what they don't understand about human psychology. In a real emergency, weeks of eating the same bland food, morale matters more than you think. A 2023 Johns Hopkins study found that food monotony during extended emergencies significantly contributed to decision fatigue and decreased problem-solving abilities. Translation: boring food makes you stupid when you need to be smart. I keep about 100 blocks in my secondary storage, cost less than $60 total. Each block provides a complete meal, takes 3 minutes to prepare, requires minimal water, and the variety keeps you psychologically stable. Insider move: hit your local Asian supermarket, H Mart, 99 Ranch, or whatever's near you. Look for brands like Indomie, Nissin Shin Ramyun, and Samyang. These are brands locals actually eat daily. Pro tip: avoid anything with refrigerate after opening on the seasoning packet. Stick to fully shelf-stable options. Storage is simple. Keep them in original packaging. Store in a cool, dry place. I use large plastic bins and stack them flat. Surprisingly, space efficient. Here's the insider secret. During actual shortages, nobody thinks to panic buy at Asian grocery stores. While Walmart shelves are stripped bare, places like H Mart stay fully stocked because most Americans don't even think to look there. Food. 5. Canned coconut milk. Liquid energy insurance. Number 5 has been hiding in plain sight this entire time. Canned coconut milk. Not coconut water, not the beverage stuff. Thick, full-fat canned coconut milk from the international aisle. Here's why this is absolutely brilliant, and why I've got 60 cans hidden in my stockpile. Fat. In survival situations, fat is king. Your body needs it for energy, vitamin absorption, warmth, and brain function. And most prepper foods are seriously lacking in fat content. Rice, 0 fat. Beans, barely any. Freeze-dried meals strip most fat to extend shelf life. But 1 can of coconut milk delivers 50 grams of healthy fats. That's rocket fuel for your body. I learned this lesson during a winter camping trip gone wrong. We were eating all our survival food: rice, beans, the works. After 3 days in freezing temperatures, we were exhausted, couldn't think straight, and were constantly cold. My buddy who does ultralight backpacking pulled out a can of coconut milk, heated it up with rice, and within an hour, we all felt human again. The fat content literally saved us. But here's what makes this next level. Coconut milk is incredibly versatile. Use it in rice dishes for creamy richness. Add to soups to boost calories. Even drink it straight for instant energy. And unlike dairy, it's shelf-stable for years. I've got cans in my stockpile that are 4 years old, still perfect. Recent research shows properly stored coconut milk maintains quality for up to 6 years. That's longer than most canned goods. Survival hack most people don't know. If you need to stretch a meal, add coconut milk. 1 cup of rice feeding 2 people, add half a can of coconut milk, and suddenly it feeds 4 people while significantly boosting calories. Price point. Average can cost about $2.50, sometimes less during Asian market sales. For 50 grams of healthy fats, that's insane value. Compare that to expensive emergency fat bars preppers buy for $10 each. I organize mine by expiration date. Oldest in front, newest in back. Simple rotation system, and I use them in regular cooking so nothing goes to waste. Pro tip from a nutritionist. During high-stress situations, your body needs more fat than normal. Something about hormone production and nervous system function. Coconut milk delivers that in a shelf-stable, affordable package. Storage is brain-dead simple. Keep in a cool, dark place. Cans are already sealed. No special prep is needed. Just check occasionally for dents or bulging. Food. 6. Ghee. Liquid gold that never dies. Stop scrolling right now, because what I'm about to share might be the most valuable prepping secret I've kept hidden for 4 years. Ghee. Before you click away thinking that's just fancy butter, let me blow your mind. I have a jar of ghee in my stockpile that's been sitting at room temperature for 5 years. 5 years. No refrigeration. Last week, I used it to cook dinner. Tasted absolutely perfect. Here's something that'll shock you. Archaeologists in India found sealed containers of ghee over 5,000 years old, still edible. That's not prepper mythology, that's documented history. While everyone's panic buying freeze-dried butter powder for $35 a container, ghee is sitting in your grocery store for $14, and it literally lasts forever. Let me tell you about last summer when everything clicked. A massive heat wave knocked out power in my area for 3 weeks straight. My neighbor, excellent prepper, serious guy, came knocking on day 6. All his butter had melted into a disgusting puddle. His expensive coconut oil had separated and gone rancid. Meanwhile, my ghee is sitting on the counter in 98-degree heat, still golden, still perfect, still ready to use. A groundbreaking 2023 study revealed something the prepping community completely ignores. Ghee's unique molecular structure makes it immune to oxidation. Translation, it cannot go rancid, chemically impossible. But wait, it gets better. Ghee actually improves with age. Like wine, the flavor compounds concentrate over time. Ancient Ayurvedic texts talk about 100-year-old ghee being used as medicine. We're talking about food that becomes more valuable the longer you store it. In real survival situations, your body doesn't just want fat. It needs fat for warmth, brain function, vitamin absorption, and sustained energy. Most prepper foods are dangerously low in fat, but 1 tablespoon of ghee is pure concentrated energy. My personal secret, I keep 2 types in my stockpile. Regular ghee for everyday cooking and cultured ghee with this insanely rich, nutty flavor for when morale is low and we need something that feels like normal life. Pro tip that'll save you hundreds: buy grass-fed ghee. Costs a few dollars more, but the nutritional profile is next level. Brands like Fourth and Heart or Ancient Organics, 1 jar costs about $16 and will literally outlast everything else in your pantry. Storage is ridiculously simple. Keep it in the original glass jar at room temperature. That's it. No Mylar bags, no oxygen absorbers, no special containers. Just sitting there waiting forever. My go-to survival recipe that transformed my family's mood during a week-long power outage. Heat up your boring stockpiled rice, stir in a tablespoon of ghee, and a pinch of salt. The transformation is incredible. Suddenly, your emergency food tastes restaurant quality. World War II. Indian troops used ghee specifically because it handled extreme heat and cold, needed 0 refrigeration, and provided critical calories when everything else failed. While other preppers waste money on freeze-dried fats and butter powder that expires in 2 years, I've got liquid gold that my grandchildren could use. Food. 7. Chia seeds, the ancient warrior's secret weapon. Here's number 7. And honestly, when I first figured this out, I felt like an idiot for not seeing it sooner. Chia seeds. Now I know what you're thinking. Chia seeds, really? But stay with me because what I'm about to share will revolutionize your entire approach to prepping. Chia seeds were so valuable to Aztec warriors that they received them as payment. These weren't just seeds. They were literally used as currency because they were that critical for survival. Modern research discovered that chia seeds maintain their omega-3 content far longer than fish oil supplements. We're talking years. 1 tablespoon of chia seeds contains more omega-3s than an entire serving of salmon. But here's the game changer nobody talks about. Chia seeds absorb up to 12 times their weight in water. In survival situations where water is precious, this is absolutely critical. When you eat chia seeds, they absorb water in your stomach and form this gel. This dramatically slows digestion, which means you feel full way longer and your body has more time to extract nutrition from limited food. Last year, I did an experiment. Ate my normal rice and beans breakfast, hungry again in 3 hours. The next day, added just 1 tablespoon of chia seeds to the exact same meal, stayed full for 8 hours. Do you understand what this means in a rationing situation? You can stretch your food supply significantly just by adding chia seeds to every meal. Here's another insane fact. Chia seeds require 0 cooking. Eat them raw. Soak in water for gel, sprinkle on anything. In a bug-out situation where cooking isn't possible, this is massive. Storage-wise, chia seeds are prepper perfection. When vacuum-sealed in amber glass containers, they maintain their nutritional profile for up to 6 years. That's twice as long as previously thought. I keep 15 pounds in my hidden stockpile. Cost me about $80 total. That's 38,400 tablespoons, essentially 38,400 nutritional insurance policies. Compare that to expensive prepper supplements at $45 a bottle. Storage hack that's borderline genius. Brown or amber glass jars for UV protection. Fill with chia seeds, add 300cc oxygen absorber, seal tight. Your chia seeds will outlast most other foods in your stockpile. Real-world application. During a 2-week camping trip last summer, I carried just 3 pounds of chia seeds. Mixed them with water, oatmeal, rice, or whatever. The sustained energy was noticeable, and I needed significantly less food overall because I stayed full longer. Here's something the big prepper channels won't tell you. Chia seeds are nature's hydration hack for hot survival situations. Eating chia seeds helps your body retain water more effectively. This was discovered studying how Aztec messengers could run 100+ miles in scorching heat eating mainly chia seeds. Complete protein alert. Chia seeds contain all 9 essential amino acids. For vegetarian preppers or situations where meat is unavailable, this is life-saving. Quick nutrition breakdown that'll blow your mind. 1 ounce of chia seeds, about 2 tablespoons, contains 11 grams of fiber, 4 grams of protein, and 9 grams of fat, mostly omega-3s, plus tons of calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. That's more nutrition per ounce than almost any other prepper food, and it takes up basically 0 space. The bottom line. Look, here's what this all comes down to. While everyone else is fighting over the same tired prepper foods, you now know 7 items that are cheaper, easier to store, more nutritious, and will actually still be available when shortages hit. These are the foods I genuinely keep hidden from other preppers. Not because I'm selfish, but because I learned the hard way that the best survival strategy isn't following the crowd. It's thinking 3 steps ahead. If this video opened your eyes to a completely different approach to prepping, smash that like button and subscribe for more unconventional survival strategies that actually work. Drop a comment telling me which of these 7 foods you're going to grab first. Next week, I'm exposing the 3 tools everyone thinks are essential, but are actually completely worthless in a real collapse scenario. Trust me, you don't want to miss that revelation. Stay smart, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next one.